Hello friends, this is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and a lot of people have been asking, who do I think the next Galactic Legends will be? And that is such a loaded question, and I had to think about it, and I've had to think about it for pretty long and hard. And what I decided to do is actually look into who could the next Galactic Legend characters be, and I was very interested in what I found. Now, I gotta say, guys, a lot of what I found kind of just verified what I was hoping for anyways, but it's been really, really interesting to actually look at this, right? So we know right off the bat that whoever they decide there has to be like a balance to it. They're going to introduce 2 Galactic Legends at a time, right? They're not going to introduce one and then wait and then introduce another. They're going to introduce 2 at a time. And there has to be a balance between kind of good versus evil, light versus dark. If you jump over to look at the ones we have, we've got Jedi Master Luke, we've got Rey, we've got Sith Eternal Empire, we've got Supreme Leader Snoke. Now, there are definitely some focuses here, right? You've got a Jedi, and then you've got the person that he trained. You've got the Sith Eternal Emperor, and the person that he trained, right? So there's definitely a connection there that wouldn't make sense. There's definitely a vibe there. Now, what's interesting about this is all 4 of those characters, both of those sets of characters were introduced around the sequel trilogy, right? They were trying to promote the sequel trilogy, and I think that is actually going to be a very important thing to remember when we are looking at which characters could and or should be added to this game, right? With that, though, we've got to go ahead and rule out the factions, the ideas, the characters that we think are less likely to come. And right off the bat, we can rule out Jedi, we can rule out Resistance, Sith, and First Order, right? I feel like they're probably done with those characters for now, or at least those factions for now. Now, this, again, assumes that we're only going to have 1 Galactic Legend per faction. That may not be the case with a lot of our factions in-game, with a lot of our characters in-game. It would make sense to have some pretty epic multiple characters who are Galactic Legends. Right off the bat, we have got to go ahead and we've got to get rid of those first 4. But additionally, I think we could get rid of Old Republic, Night Sisters, Tuskens, Ewoks, Jawas, and probably those for now. As much as I love the Old Republic, even the Sith Empire we could probably get rid of. There just doesn't seem to be enough characters for those characters, right? To actually unlock those, to unlock characters in that. What we've seen with the Galactic Legends currently is you have to have enough characters from a specific faction to unlock. Now, that doesn't mean that there won't be a use for those characters in a Galactic Legend that could be coming up. I just don't think that we'll get those faction tags, or those characters that have those faction tags, in a Galactic Legend. Okay? Now, that leaves us with only 2 eras, right? If we're completely getting rid of the sequel trilogy era, it would absolutely make sense. They've already got 4. Let's move on. That leaves us with the Galactic Republic, the Separatists, the Rebels, the Empires, and 1 faction or profession, dare I say, that expands all eras, and that is the Scoundrels. Okay? Now, with all of that having been said, let's go ahead and take a look at what's going to be focused on here in the next couple of days, or here in 2021. Where is the canon going? Let's look at TV shows, video games to an extent, but right off the bat, we have the Bad Batch, right? The Bad Batch is scheduled to be released sometime this year. It'll be the first release of 2021 when it comes to Star Wars TV. It is mentioned or theorized, they haven't given us a specific date as of the recording of this video, but it's supposed to come out, rumor has it, supposed to come out in the spring of 2020. Or 2021. So that could be over the next couple of weeks, right? That we could get an announcement for the Bad Batch. The Book of Boba Fett is supposed to come out Christmas 2021, so that's obviously at the end. And somewhere between, I do believe that Andor is going to be launching as well. I do think that'll be closer towards the end of the year, if they do decide to launch in 2021. It could be simply that they'll be launching at the beginning of 2022. I'm not entirely sure, but again, rumor has it that Andor will be launching sometime in 2021. That being said, what we have seen in the past is kind of this vertical hierarchy of let's promote Star Wars. So if they're going to be promoting Star Wars, if they're going to be building Star Wars, what are some of the things that they're going to be focusing on? Ladies and gentlemen, as much as I would love to say that I think that we're going to be getting a galactic legend in the form of a rebel, an imperial character, a separatist, or even a galactic rebellion or a republic character, there are two characters in this game whose code has been in the game since pretty close to launch. We've been teased about these two characters for a very, very long time, and I think that it is finally time that they will be showing up. These two characters could very well introduce the idea of the neutral tag, or could be very well be our first neutral characters, although they're definitely not neutral at the time these parts of the story go on, right? Those two characters are Jabba the Hutt and Hondo Ohnaka. Now, so as I was looking through this, I was looking at all of the Rebel characters, and there's a lot of great Rebel characters. There's a lot of great, really amazing characters, and this is a pretty big faction. Same thing with the Imperials, a huge faction. Not as big as Rebels, it can definitely be added to. Not as big as Galactic Republic. Holy crap, there's a ton there. Same thing with Separatists. There are quite a few here. But what I've noticed is that the Scoundrels encompass not only the bounty hunters, but they're also the smugglers, right? And these are the two groups that kind of keep the story going, that keep things moving along. And riding off the coattails of The Mandalorian, not necessarily the success of the Mandalorian bounty hunter legendary event, that's in the game, that's totally different, but specifically the success of the Mandalorian TV show, it would make sense to add additional characters who we could either possibly see in some of these new future events. I mean, seeing Jabba the Hutt in the Clone Wars was a thing. Seeing Hondo in the Clone Wars was a thing. Same thing with Rebels. We saw Hondo in Rebels, and I'm pretty sure at least we got mention of Jabba if we didn't officially see him. There's a lot of stuff going on, and it makes sense to me that they're going to give us these two characters. Why? Again, they're already in the code. These characters have already been in this game since the beginning, and that makes a really big difference. They are characters that are definitely loved. Jabba the Hutt and Hondo are both characters that people, myself included, myself maybe foremost amongst them, have wanted in this game. They would add a degree of connection to all of the characters in the Star Wars Galaxy of Hero roster. And it would just be a ton of fun to play with Jabba and Hondo. Absolutely. Now here's the thing. In the Rebellion, Jabba's a scoundrel to no extent. I mean, he's the bad guy. He is a bad guy. But during the Rebellion, Hondo still had a light side to him. He was there to kind of help. Yes, he was a scoundrel. Yes, he looked after himself first and foremost. But he was definitely a character who helped the little guy, who even helped the good guy. And we know that Hondo eventually helps out the Resistance. He and Chewbacca actually become kind of buddies, and there's a time when Chewbacca lends him the Millennium Falcon. So if you don't know the story of Hondo and why he has the Millennium Falcon at Disneyland, it's because, like, Chewie's let him borrow it for a time, right? He's on Batuu. Chewie's, you know, it's a really kind of interesting story, but he ends up being a good guy, a positive guy. I mean, good is relative, obviously, but like, I honestly think that these two characters, Hondo and Jabba, could easily be added to the game as Galactic Legends characters. Now, I don't think that we're necessarily going to get them anytime soon, but I gotta say, it makes sense that these two characters would come together as Galactic Legends because they are a legendary duo. They are legendary characters. Jabba the Hutt is known throughout the space universe, throughout space. And Hondo the Pirate, also known throughout space. Now, I don't know. These are just my thoughts. What do you guys think? As I said, I think that it'll be one of those 5 factions: Galactic Republic, Separatist, Rebels, Empire, or Scoundrels. And I think that we could get 2 from Scoundrels because you've got the bounty hunters and then you've got the smugglers, right? I could see Jabba being not a bounty hunter, of course, but someone who gives out bounties, you know, because that's kind of what he did. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Leave a comment in the section below. Like, subscribe, share. In the section below, you will find 4 different links. I've increased them. The first is for Audible. Always, guys, always recommend Audible. Some amazing books out there. Some amazing Star Wars books out there. Sign up for 1 free month, 2 free audiobooks, plus thousands, I believe, of other free books that are just available to you. It's a great service. It's only $10 a month, but every time you do subscribe, you do help out the channel. Additionally, you'll find my Discord channel. You will find a link to my Funko Pop sections. Again, every time you buy from those things from Amazon, you help me out. And then finally, guys, check out the Going Nerdy Swag Store, where I am always working on putting up new t-shirts, new stuff, mostly for myself, but if you guys are interested as well, check it out. Again, all things go to support the channel. This has been Thaddeus from Going Nerdy. Like, subscribe, share. Click on that little bell icon to be notified anytime I post a video. And as always, my friends, smile and stay nerdy.